Hello, fellow Voyagers. Jess here with Odyssey Human, here today to talk about self-containment, the ultimate way to supercharge your manifesting abilities. Welcome to the channel. This is the place where we help you hack through the jungles of consciousness so that you can discover the hidden treasures inside of you. My friends, it's all there, ready and waiting to be activated by you. So if that sounds good, please subscribe. We'd love to have you on the channel. And today I want to talk about self-containment. I haven't heard many people talk about this and just what a powerful thing it is, right? The paradox of manifesting and reality creation is that we want to learn how to control the things outside of us, right? We want to learn how to control our outcomes. We want to learn how for things to go our way, for people to come back, for the money to flow in. We want to learn all this stuff so that we can manage the way that we're feeling, so that we feel happy, fulfilled, magnificent, powerful, wonderful, amazing, right? That's the ultimate goal, is feeling those things. And we're trying to do it by manipulating the 3D reality, by manipulating circumstances, by learning this magic and applying it so that things go our way. The paradox of wanting to learn this and having that aggressive drive for things to go a certain way is actually what holds us back. It's what holds us back, ultimately. You know, there was a time in this community that people really talked about detachment from outcomes. And that takes time to learn detachment. I fully admit, I like many others, I'm used to just pounding the pavement and fighting the good fight and continuing to pound stuff until it submits to me, right? Until it submits to me. And in the last few months, I want to discuss more of, the subtle art of self-containment, because ultimately, when we start to pull our energy in, right? When we start to break that spell of looking at our circumstances, of the things in our 3D as the creator of our reality, and we really, the first few steps are, just getting comfortable with that, getting comfortable with letting go, getting comfortable with being okay with whatever happens. We start to loosen up the grasp. It gets a little bit looser. And then we really, the next level of what I would love for you to start exploring, if you have been at this for a while, is self-containment. What does self-containment mean? It really means to know that nothing that's happening outside of you affects your joy in life. Nothing that's happening outside of you, even if it's going to hell in a handbasket, you can still stand in, I am happy, I am well, I am whole, everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything's fine. Even there's this meme of the little dog and he's sitting at the kitchen table and everything's on fire behind him and he's like, this is fine. Being able to really believe that and feel it is a whole nother level, right? Because deep down, we don't want to admit to ourselves, like, yeah, I am really disappointed that this didn't happen, or I wasn't able to manifest this, and even those little rumblings still are strings, right, of energy that we're sending out, saying, I prevented myself from feeling fully fulfilled because that didn't happen, or it hasn't happened, or I want it to happen, and I feel separate from it. I feel distant from it. We really have to start cutting those strings, pulling our energy back in, pulling our attention. And when I say energy, I really mean our attention, our intentions of, this is how I want this to go. This is how I want this to go. And that fixation on that. And, if I had told myself this a few months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, I would have writhed. I would have been like, I want what I want. And I'm not saying that you can't have it. I'm just saying the more self-contained we are, the more that we pull our energy back in and we feel whole no matter what is happening out there. Like really visiting that, making a habit of resting in your wholeness, resting in your perfection, resting in I am everything no matter what. I am everything. It doesn't, that the movie of what's happening in my life can play, but I am sitting in the theater knowing myself as whole, watching it, observing it, and basking in the sense that I know that no matter what happens, I am okay. No matter what happens out there, I am okay. Even if this doesn't go the way I planned, even if it does go the way I planned, I am okay. I am okay. That is that is how I like to think about detachment from outcomes, because that energy, what I found was that I just got frustrated. I got frustrated with like trying to create stuff out there and it not happening and feeling like I was failing. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to be whole and okay and perfect and awesome and feel the fullness of that, rely on the fullness of that, make a habit of it, visit it daily, practice it frequently, be in that. Be in that. And you know what I found is that by doing that, by habituating that feeling, that wholeness, that self-containment. It does feel like a self-containment where you're literally like, you're sucking back in, your reliance on outcomes of it has to play out like this fixation on outer circumstances that I think we all naturally do, right? We're so attention focused on what's happening, but really pulling that back in, retract that attention to you. Remind yourself that you're whole and complete right now. You have everything you need. You have everything you need to feel the way that you want to feel the feelings, to feel the fulfillment, to feel that wholeness. It is a place inside of you right now that is constantly accessible to you. And dwelling there as your normal day-to-day existence. Wow. Like the power in that of not caring so much about what's happening out there in the world, in the 3D reality, in circumstances. That kind of detachment, ironically, gives you way more control. What I have found in just practicing that, and that is my focus, right? That's my focus. Letting go of trying to control, letting go of it, of like, you know what, whatever, I'm fine, I'm perfect, I'm whole. If I want to feel happy in this moment, great. If I want to feel joy in this moment, great. If I forget and allow myself to feel a little bit of fear or panic, that's okay. I wake up because of the pain of that negative emotion, and I'm like, I'd rather not feel that. I'm going to come back to, I'm whole, I'm perfect, everything's fine. I'll figure it out. I always figure it out. There's no problem that can ruffle me out of the wholeness, Then, ironically, it takes very little effort to actually then manifest. Because what you're going to find is, if that's your normal operating procedure, if that's your normal day-to-day dwelling place for your emotional experience, it takes very little effort to create things. I find that when my focus and my priority is that state, maintaining my peace of mind, maintaining my wholeness internally, and not trying to do it via manipulation of circumstances or outcomes or the 3D, the more I do that, the more I can literally just drop in these little seeds that then grow into a tree immediately. It's really incredible. And this is where, too, I don't fully agree with robotic affirmations. I really think if manifesting to you, if affirming things and pounding the pavement and that energy suck of giving and giving and giving and trying and trying and trying, if that's exhausting. And that is not self-containment, right? That's putting tons of energy out, putting it outward to try and make something happen, when you can stand in the amazing power of I'm whole and fulfilled right now. I don't need anything else outside of me. I don't need anything to happen. Like, screw it. Screw it. That attitude. Wow. Then you literally hold it all in your hands because you've reached a level of detachment with your circumstances where you're like, whatever. Next. Thank you. Next. Thank you. Next. Like, you don't work as hard to try and make things work. It actually also ripples into, your behaviors of like, I'm not going to work so hard at this. And your manifesting methods start to become very subtle and then very rapid results. Right? You think about something and then it happens because you don't need it to happen. You're in this prolonged, sustainable detachment that magically creates, right? Because there's nothing outside of us that's creating. We are creating. We literally in a moment can say, I am this. I am whole and perfect and contained. I am self-contained. I don't need anything else out there. And the magic of that is that we then experience the wholeness, the completion, the things flowing, the flow states, the ease, the quick manifestation. I mean, fast and full of like sudden transformations of people, these miraculous results that we were so desperate to get before, right? And I'm not passing judgment because this is what my experience of it was, how I would describe it. If it resonates with you, great. But that desperation of I have to have this go this way, or like you enter in an inner way and then an outer way. You let go of that. You're like, no, I'm okay. I'm okay if it doesn't go that way. I'm open to it going another way and being surprised. I'm open to just doing it myself. I'm open to whatever. You start naturally, organically releasing and detaching from outcomes, which is the whole point of it. So give self-containment a try. How you would do this practically, step by step, is start to cultivate the feeling of being whole, fulfilled, complete, no matter what. Independently of whatever's going on. Turn your attention to yourself. Perpetuate that feeling. Return to that feeling when you stray and you start to feel negative emotion. Remind yourself, I can come back to this. I'm coming back to this right now. I'm choosing that right now in this present moment. And make that your standard. That is your new standard. Raise your standards internally. Just by doing that, you will naturally let go of, all right, well, if that's what's going to go down, that's fine. I'm going to make the best of it and it's going to be okay. And I'm not worried about it. I'm not sending my energy out. Be conscious. That's step 2. So step 1, cultivate the feeling of wholeness. Make it a habit. Do it frequently. Second is be cognizant, be aware when you send out these kind of desperate needs, this reliance upon outcomes, this reliance upon circumstances. You'll feel it. You'll feel like your attention is going away from yourself. Your attention is fixating on something. Your attention is trying to accomplish a task. Your energy starts to literally leach out of you. It'll feel tiring, exhausting, consuming, right? You feel like you're out of control, you're fixated, you're ruminating. That's what it's going to feel like. It'll literally feel like your energy is getting zapped, because it is. You're sending it out and putting the focus on something that is outside of you when really there is nothing outside of you, and so it's an artificial creation. It's an artificial creation. The irony of it. So yeah, so bring it in, tighten it up, cultivate the feeling of wholeness, tighten up your energy. Do not give it away where it doesn't need to go, because it's yours. And really, you can keep it for yourself to maintain your containment, to stay contained, and then watch the things that unfold in your life. It's really interesting. Just as an observer, be surprised and delighted by the things then that do come into your life, because you're whole and complete no matter what. And so whatever happens, you're like, ooh, this is great. I just thought about that briefly and it happened because I'm whole and fulfilled and I've perpetuated this, and now my experience is reflecting that, and I'm getting to experience it from the sensory world. So let me know what you thought. Go ahead and drop a comment below if you have any questions, comments. I'm happy to engage with you. And if you need a free tool to help you maintain peace of mind, make your inner world a pleasant and fun and wonderful place, grab it below. It's always in the description box for you. It will always be free. So go ahead and check that out. And thanks for watching. Bye.